Welcome to Tell It Like It Is with Loria Hudson, PhD, PLPC. This is the space where clinical expertise meets raw truth and where faith guides us back to the relationships that matter most. Whether you're looking to heal the relationship with yourself, strengthen your marriage, or build a resilient family, it's time to strip away the noise and get real. Here's your host, catalyst for change and leader in relational wellness, Dr. Loria Hudson.
That's it. We are telling it like it is today. I'm Dr. Loria Hudson. Today I want to talk about the most important relationship on this earth that you need to make sure that you are well with. And that is the relationship with yourself. You know, we do a lot of things, especially as women, and I know men as well. But having that relationship with yourself is so important. But our lives are so busy. I know my life is busy, and I know that your life is busy. But when we don't slow down and take time to find out who we really are, then we'll have a problem later on in life. Because so many times we live our life through other people's. If you're married, you're living your life through your husband, your children, your best friend, your church members, your co-workers, or all the people that you deal with. Your parents, you're living your life through them. But when you're not living your life for yourself, it tells us a lot. We don't know our boundaries. And that happens, don't worry about it. It always happens to us. But I just want to share a little bit about what happened to me when I didn't know who I was, when I didn't have that true relationship. We talk about to thy own self be true. We lie to ourselves saying, you know what, I'm okay. I can do this. I can do that. People call us to do certain things and we'll do it. But when you really find out who you really are, you'll slow down. Just like I'm talking now, just slow down and find out, is this really something that I should be doing for myself? Or am I doing this to please people? So many times we are people pleasers. So I just want to share a little bit about my life through my journey, trying to be there for a husband and just had a baby, a couple of months old, and then the cares of the world. We go through so many things in life. And during this particular time, I woke up early one morning and I had a German Shepherd. His name was Viper, and I loved him so much. He was so caring. And so as I got up out of the bed, he kept trying to push me back in the bed. And I was like, what is going on with this puppy? And so as I started to get up, I felt numbness in my body. Didn't think nothing of it. Got on up. I had to go to work. I worked at the hospital during the time. And as I walked to the bathroom, I was trying to pull my body. Didn't know what had happened to me. Got in the mirror and started brushing my teeth. And then I said, you know what? It is something wrong with this toothpaste. I'm feeling funny. Got in the shower. You guys, I even got dressed. And I had to drive to get to work. At least 15 minutes to get there. But in the process of me getting dressed, the dog kept trying to keep me to stay in the house. But that's me, even that we have things to do, places to be, especially trying to go to work. Made my way on in the car. It was kind of a little struggle there. But once I made it to that hospital, you know what happened to me? I ended up passing out in the hospital on the floor. And after that, I didn't remember anything. And also during that time, my mommy worked at the hospital. And from my understanding, they told me they got her and brought her downstairs. And of course, they admitted me. But come to find out, the doctor said that I had MS and I'd had a stroke. Now, you probably would say, wouldn't you have known you was having a stroke? No, because as we go, we don't think about our body. So many times when we don't put ourselves first, we will just forget all about the numbness that's going on in our body. If our health is declining, we don't pay attention to things like that. So no, I didn't realize it because I was able to drive myself to work and all the other things that once I got there, that's when everything collapsed. But guess what? It didn't just start that morning. It had been building up. And that's what happens in our life. The stress, the anxiety, the depression, all those emotions that we go through our body, things that we're trying to do, and we don't pay attention to it. But if it was our husband or our children needed something, we'll stop and we'll take that time out to do and be there for them. But what about ourselves? You know what? That stroke reminded me. Slow down and start listening to your body. And don't always go when people call you to do things. It's so important that we get that true relationship with ourselves. And once we do that, we can help someone else. Because if we're no good to ourselves, how are we going to keep spending being good to other people? All we know is we want to help people. And in my profession, I love helping people. I mean, they call all times through the night, but I know my boundaries. And I'm sure you've heard all about boundaries. Oh, I know my boundaries. I'm not going to do that. But I ask you, do you really know your boundaries? Do you really know when to say yes and when to say no? That word no gets to be a problem for so many people. And when I'm talking to them, I say, practice with me. Say the word no. No. But once you get into the situation, can you really use that word no? I know. Yeah, I know you're looking at me saying, oh, that's simple. No, it's not simple. If it was so simple, why do we have so many people all stressed out? Why do we have so many people saying, I don't know my boundaries? Why do we have so many people doing everything that someone called them to do? And I'm so sure God didn't call you to do all the things that you're trying to do for other people. Just like if something happened to you and you're gone, who do you think they're going to call on? They have you no longer. So we have to make sure that we take care of ourselves. We have to learn to be true to our own self. We have lied to ourselves for so long, we start believing the lie. I know you probably heard people say that before. But let's define boundaries. What does boundary mean to you? Because to me, it means just don't do it. No, 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 no. We can have boundaries in place. And sometimes you might say, well, you know what? I had to go do this. But some things are not as important as others are. That's when you need to realize what's more important. I know a lot of things that I might say, you might say you heard it, but did you really do it? That's what I want to know. Did you really do what was told? Just like you're listening to this podcast, I am saying these things because I want to make sure that you live longer than you are living. And also a healthy life. You don't want to just be here. You want to be healthy. If you have a family, you want to make sure that you are healthy enough to do the things that they need. But every time they call you, if they're saying, Mom, I need you here. Baby, I need you here. Your job calling you and everybody else calling you. Is it really that important? Have you thought about just slowing down, listening to your body? See, I didn't listen to my body that morning. I went ahead and I drove and got in that car and I took myself to work because I realized the most important, look, I had to pay them bills. I had just had a baby and that baby to be taken care of. And my husband was off on his job. But still, if I had paid attention to my body, maybe that stroke wouldn't have taken place in this body. And just to tell you a little bit more, yes, I was in a wheelchair for a while. But one thing I told God in that hospital, I say, Lord, when I get out of here, I know I could serve you in this chair, but I choose not to serve you in this chair. And just to let you know, I'm sitting in this chair, but I can't walk today. And I give God all the glory and honor for that. So I'm telling you, when your body starts telling you, I need a break, I need a vacation, I need to stop, listen to your body. You don't want to always listen to what people say because people will say, you know what, I've done that and I was okay. Every last one of us is totally different when there's things that we have to do. So I want you to realize, what is your body saying to you? Build a relationship with yourself. Care about yourself just as much as you care about others. And that way you'll be around a long time. I wanted to start this show off talking about having a relationship with yourself because through life, other people need you. There's other things that you're called to do. But you can't do those things if you're unhealthy in your body. And if you're unhealthy in your mind, if you're making some bad choices because you don't know how to stop when your body is telling you to stop. So you're not an energized bunny. You can put a battery in there, but you can't put another battery in you. So I want you to realize, I know she's talking some good stuff, and I know that she's telling the truth. So you don't want to wait until you get to that breaking point where you're no good to yourself and nobody else. So after today's show, you're going to say, well, you know what? I need to really listen to Dr. Hudson because she's saying some things that's going to change my life. And I know that I want to be here longer so I can be here with my family and to be good for yourself. And that way you can do all those other things that I'm sure that you're trying to do in your life. When we learn how to be true to ourselves, I had to learn that the hard way. So everyone don't have to go through a medical condition or medical issue to learn to be true to yourself. You can stop right now where you are. Just stop whatever you're doing right now. It won't take but a second. And you ask yourself, am I really being true to myself? Am I really doing this for me? Or am I doing this for prestige? Or am I doing this so someone can give me some accolades? Why are you doing all the things that you're doing? Oh, I'm going to stay late because I want the boss to say I'm doing a good job. Is that the real reason why you're doing it? Your body is worn and tired. You done worked 60 hours and the week is not even up yet. Think about it. That is something that's so important. You want to make sure that what you're doing is for you and not being a people pleaser. I'm Dr. Loria Hudson, and this is Tell It Like It Is. And remember, to thy own self be true.
Thank you for listening to Tell It Like It Is with Dr. Loria Hudson. To find out more about Dr. Hudson's books, including Girl Get Your Voice Back and her children's book, Dreams Take Flight, or to learn more about her work in relational wellness, visit the show notes below. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with someone you love. Tune in next time, and remember, to thine own self be true.